In 2016, thousands of young women across the UK are celebrating 100 years of Girl Guiding's senior section. Girl Guiding is the leading charity for girls and young women in the UK, with over 500,000 members. The senior section is open to all girls and young women aged 14 to 25 and offers a host of amazing opportunities to older girls. The story of guiding began in South Africa during the Second Boer War. During the siege of Mafeking, Colonel Robert Baden-Powell gained vital assistance from a cadet force of boys aged 12 to 15. These junior soldiers were the prototype of the Boy Scouts. In 1908, Baden-Powell published Scouting for Boys, and in 1909, the first ever Boy Scout rally was held at Crystal Palace in London. Pioneering groups of young women had already started tackling their own adventurous activities, and they gatecrashed the rally, gathering round Baden-Powell and demanding something for the girls. In response, Baden-Powell asked his sister Agnes to adapt his book so that girls could also use it, and the Girl Guides Association was born. In a Britain where girls running in public was frowned upon and women had no vote, the opportunities that were offered to the first Girl Guiding members were groundbreaking, and they made the most of them, hiking, camping and taking up sports in defiance of the critics. At first, the Girl Guides Association was open to girls aged 10 to 14. But a group for younger girls was set up in 1914. Originally called Rosebuds, this group is now known as Brownies. In 1916, with demand for guiding growing among older girls, the Senior Guides were formed. Renamed Rangers in 1920, they are now known as the Senior Section. Encouraged by their magazine The Guide, members of the Senior Section played key supporting roles during both World Wars, assisting in hospitals, helping the emergency services, and taking a leading role in the evacuation of city children. Social action has always been at the heart of Girl Guiding. During World War II, members raised over £46,000 for the war effort, equivalent to over £1.8 million today. Older Girl Guiding members did not confine their efforts to the land. The Sea Rangers were one of the original branches of the senior section, and during World War II, Sea Rangers from London and surrounding counties were recruited for the Thames emergency services. The uniform has been adapted many times over the years, reflecting what girls and young women want. The current senior section hoodie was designed by members in 2007. 4 young women in guiding then travelled to India to audit the working conditions in the factory and see their design come to life.
The uniform now is kind of made so that we don't stand out, particularly as guides, so if we're walking down the street or something, we just blend in. So we only have like a small thing on our arm saying that we're part of senior section, so that we're rangers.
But it's still recognisable, and if you wear a guide and you see someone else in the uniform, it's obvious to you that they are through guiding. I'm a lot happier with the choice of uniform we have now than what we had back then, because that probably would have put me off quite a lot.
My original guide uniform, it had pockets. You had to have a coin for the phone, you had to have a handkerchief, you had to have some string, I think it was, a pencil, something to write on, and all this went in these pockets. If you were a seconder or a patrol leader, you had stripes on the pockets. I was proud of that 2 stripes at one time. And you also had a lanyard to say that you were a patrol leader. And we had all our badges all the way down our sleeves. I never got badges all the way down my sleeves. I never got that many. But it still didn't stop me having great fun.
Badges too have changed. Some of the earliest badges available to members included air mechanic, electrician and sailor. Many of the old skills are still practiced, but the change in badges reflects the many changes in guiding activities. Badges today cover topics such as body confidence, campaigning and politics.
Currently in a senior section programme is called Look Wider, and it's split into 8 different parts, and they cover things like creativity, leadership, kind of traditional guiding skills. But because we're moving forward as an organisation and we're putting our youth members at the heart of what we're doing, there's no real tasks that you have to do, so it's completely different to what it's been like in the past.
So we have a really varied programme. So for example, last week We built IKEA tables as part of independent living, giving like DIY life skills, and then we also decorated the tops of them. So we go from things like that to adventurous trips. We've been to a big Girl Guiding pop concert. We went down to London for the weekend. So yeah, really very varied programme.
In Rangers we do a range of different things. Sometimes we have more relaxing meetings where it's more social because we've all got quite a lot going on with schoolwork and exams, and it's more of a getting to see each other that we wouldn't normally get to see outside of Rangers. But around the time of the general election we did quite a lot on politics and how it was important for 17, 18-year-olds to vote to get their opinion across.
Members of the senior section can choose to be peer educators. They're trained to deliver fun, innovative and informal education to their peers and younger members on topics like body confidence and healthy relationships. Those really passionate about speaking out, campaigning in politics, can join Girl Guiding's National Youth Panel, Advocate. It's made up of 18 young women from across the UK who meet several times a year to discuss the issues that matter most to them and other girls. The Queen was a member of the senior section, becoming Chief Ranger of the Empire in 1946. And one of the highest honours girls can achieve in guiding is the Queen's Guide Award. Senior section members dedicate several years to achieving this prestigious award by setting themselves a series of challenges and unique adventures, such as embarking on an Arctic expedition or volunteering at the Olympic Games.
One of the best things I've done with Rangers recently was to go to William and Kate's wedding. Only 250 guides from the whole of the country could go, and our group were one of them. And it was just fantastic. An amazing experience. Walking down the Mall with 250 other guides and rangers right behind the police, immediately behind the wedding cortege. It was just fantastic.
In the early days, for many city girls, guiding was their only real chance to see the countryside. And trips soon became more ambitious, more far-ranging and adventurous. The senior section programme has been developed to inspire girls to explore the world around them. Girl Guiding's Gold Scheme is a key part of this. The initials stand for Guiding Overseas, linked with development. And every year, dozens of senior section members jet off on global community development projects. The senior section have travelled to places as distant as Sri Lanka, Madagascar, Latvia and Chile to make a positive difference.
The Guide Association has these 4 world houses. One is the Chalet, which is very well known. And my ranger leader, we called her Skip. Her name was Edith Lund. One night she just said to us, "I've always wanted to go to the Chalet. Would anybody like to come?" I was absolutely over the moon to think that we could do something like that. And we spent, I should think, 6 months then planning our trip to the Chalet. And the journey was by train and bus and boat. We didn't fly. And it's a most amazing place. There are people from all over the world there. We were there for 2 weeks. The accommodation, there were about 10 of us all slept sort of on a wooden thing all in a row. And each day we had to help in the house, but we had a lot of free time. And people still go to the Chalet now for holidays to do with guiding, and they seem to do the same things that we did. They always visit the woodcarver and go for walks, and we just had a wonderful time.
When I went to India, we went into the Himalayas to do camping and trekking for 3 days, and that included some whitewater rafting. Other things I've done is spend time at Sangam. We did just some amazing activities and to meet people from all over the world. And we worked in a leprosy colony. We worked in a mother's support unit where women who have been really badly beaten or even burnt, we did lots of things like that.
Next year we're going to India with our senior section.
We're going to go do charity work in an orphanage in India and help with a women's refuge. We're going to Sangam, which is a guide world centre, so hopefully we'll get to meet some guides from other places around the world.
It's one of the 5 world centres, which shows that girl guiding really is a world thing. It's not just a British thing or an American thing, it is really worldwide.
In 2016, girls and young women across the UK are leading the celebrations to mark 100 years of the senior section, organising huge events for thousands of girls in guiding. A century after it was founded, the senior section is as relevant as ever to the lives of girls and young women. In an increasingly complex world, Girl Guiding offers girls and young women a safe space where they can be themselves, build their confidence and have fun.
I learned a tremendous a lot about myself as much as about other things, because you learn that you are capable of doing far more than you think you are.
Friends made in guiding tend to be friends that you keep for life. When I see and hear what the girls do today, I think they have so many opportunities that are offered to them through guiding.
I think it helps you get a lot of different life skills. Like we've had meetings about managing money, like what you would do if you're on minimum wage, like how would you buy a house and stuff like that. And it just gives you like lots of different skills like team building, and we do young leaders through guides, so that helps with leadership, and it's something that universities look at as well.
It is a big, big family feeling, a big community where you know that not only are you part of your group, which is where you are on a weekly basis, but you're part of a larger family of guides in the UK, and then also internationally. When you meet international guides, there is really a feeling that you're all part of the same movement, they want the same things, you're working towards the same ideals. So if you'd like to be part of this fantastic organisation and join the senior section, all you need to do is go onto the website and all the details of how to get involved are there. You get to join in with everything and have a brilliant time at the same time.